All right, it's the Illini Basketball Podcast, episode number 92, which means we're 8 away from the big triple-digit action. And, the phone rings right away, which is it could be a bad sign for the Illini tonight.
Good start.
They got Maryland tonight, Friday. We'll discuss that later, but still going to talk about the game from Monday, which was the game against Purdue, where you had the rankings change right before the game started. It went from what was it going to be, 7 versus 25 to 4 versus 17.
Yep.
And now Purdue's lost since then, so they're going to drop, and Illinois is going to drop a little bit too. But
and if you didn't, we did a kind of instant react on our countdown to March Madness. I think we talked for like 10 minutes on there, so you can go listen to our immediate thoughts. Now we have to remember what happened in the game, and so probably won't be as heated, I guess, or whatever. So, but as we always do, start with player of the game. My pog for this game, I have to go with Andre Curbelo. I know some other guys had some really good games, but Curbelo's been out for 2 months. Came in, and Underwood said that he only expected to play him 6 to 8 minutes. He ended up playing 26 minutes because just what he can do against a defense. Ended up having 20 points on 8 of 15 shooting. He did miss both threes he took. The first one he took was from top of the key, which it was not a very good shot. The second one, he was wide open. If it would have fell, it would have been huge. 6 rebounds, 3 assists. But the biggest thing is he's back. He did talk yesterday with the media and said that he was getting headaches every day from his concussion, and that he was worried that he might not play again this season or what would happen in the future because they didn't have a lot of answers for what was going on. And then he did say, quote, "I think we were that team. I know that for a fact. That's why it was tough for me to be out." So it's good to have him back, and he's the reason Illinois went into overtime. So I had to give it to him, but
I feel like we should use this time to discuss the entire they're better without him thing.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, they're different without him. And is that in a good way or a bad way? I don't know. I mean, they played very well without him, but I think that ultimately when this team is at full strength, you'd think that they would be a better team.
Yeah,
they're never going to be at full strength again, it appears. I mean,
100% better with him. He did have some tough games. He talked about was it the Marquette game where he had a rough game and said that was part of it. The biggest stat, I guess I didn't say, he had 0 turnovers. He did play off the ball more this game. Frazier kept the point guard spot for a lot of it, and they'd have Curbelo come around off a screen, and then he could work into the lane, which is something they just missed. I mean, it's hard to get guys open when nobody can penetrate. And the thing about Curbelo is when he penetrates, he can do something with it. No knock on DeMonte because he can penetrate, but once he gets down there, he's kind of lost. He doesn't, find the open guy, and he takes some not so great shots. So
I mean, that's being generous, but
sure.
I just think that Curbelo is going to be a guy that comes off the bench, and I think that with an injury, he would probably be a guy that bumps into the lineup. Whether it's DeMonte or Plummer, if one of those guys goes down, you'd think he'd be the next man up. I mean,
right? It
can't be Hawkins. There's no way. That would just be ridiculous. But
and that's what somebody asked. Whose minutes is he going to take? And I said, well, Coleman Hawkins played 26 last game, so I don't mind him taking Hawkins minutes at all. Hawkins played 4 minutes this game, so they're going to find ways to get him in there. Whether it's, coming in for Plummer when Plummer's not shooting well. But one of those things is it's always been a question mark is his defense. And he's going to be a little slow now too on top of it. So I hope his defense gets better. You say that about him starting. I guess the media asked Brad Underwood yesterday if he would start. And he had said he had no intentions. He said, why would I change that? That ain't changing. Why? Because you guys in the media think he should start. That ain't changing. So,
I don't think anybody thinks that. Whatever.
Yep. But
I mean,
yeah,
it's a fair question to ask.
I'm happy he's back. I'm happy that he played well. So some people said, I got into it on a guy on Twitter, and he basically said how he's not any good, and Illinois is better without him. I mean, if you look at his line, 8 of 15, 4 or 5 from 3, I mean, that's pretty good numbers. I take that from anybody. So,
I would think so. Yeah. I mean, the player of the game for me was Benjamin Bosmans-Verdonk,
yes,
which is a shout out. There's another opportunity for a guy who's never going to get it again. And I had to give him a chance
Yep.
to earn it. I mean, he kept him in the game. And,
I absolutely love that pick. He would have been my pick if Curbelo didn't come back this game. Bosmans-Verdonk played great defense. And I don't know if he gets away with more than Kofi does because he's smaller. Kofi kind of gets called for some fouls or whatever, but he played well defensively. He did miss a wide open layup, which hurt.
He also didn't take one that ended up being a 3.
Yeah,
so that helped.
True.
Lucky, but
yeah. And Brad said after the game on Bosmans-Verdonk that no one in the program has ever worked harder than Ben. The hustle plays, diving on the floor, post defense. So Brad had some praise for him.
We'll see how many minutes he gets tonight. I mean, he's going to be, you would think, right behind Payne.
Yeah, he's got to play. The other guys, we'll go through them like we usually do. Kofi, not a great game. 3 of 9 from the field. He did make all 4 free throws, 5 rebounds, 2 steals, which is weird, and 10 points.
Generous once again, by the way.
22 minutes because of foul trouble.
He was horrendous. I mean,
yeah, he was
terrible.
Not great. And you can't, I mean, I know that, some people were like, oh, this isn't a foul, that isn't a foul. Well, I mean, he knows how refs, ref hits.
Yeah, I mean, this was a game for him to make some sort of a statement, National Player of the Year case, make a statement in this game, and he didn't do that. And I'm not gonna blame the refs for him not playing well. The refs were atrocious, there's no doubt, but I don't think that had much of a bearing on the fact that Edey was eating him alive.
Yeah,
on both ends.
And the fact that Painter went away from Edey
made no sense.
It's crazy. Edey had 16 points in the first half. He ended with 20. When
Illinois could have had 40 if he wanted to.
Yeah, when Illinois was making their run, they just didn't get the ball to him. And when they did get the ball inside, it was to Williams, who Bosmans-Verdonk could handle. I don't think BBV could have handled Edey if they would have left him in the game. So
yeah, that Painter was that like a too much respect thing for Trevion because he's been there for so long?
Yeah, I guess I don't know. And also Kofi fouling out. I mean, you don't take that charge or try to take that charge with 4 fouls. Ivy was getting every call. And so that even if it was a charge and it was a clear charge, they're not going to call a charge there. Kofi it was a bad game. He apparently got concussed from it, and we'll talk about that a little bit more.
I mean, his defense is just atrocious.
It's not good.
It's
terrible. That's what you watched Indiana last night play defense against Purdue's bigs, and they were better than Kofi was.
I mean, Kofi is so big. I think that hurts him on the defensive end. I mean, he's slower. He chases blocks a lot and doesn't get them like ever.
Yep.
And that's where
he doesn't just put his hands up. Like you're 10 foot tall if you just put your hands up, Yeah.
And he should be able to handle anybody. Edey is the exception because he's so tall. But I mean, I feel like if Edey's not in this game for Purdue, Illinois wins. And Jaden Ivey, I think he's a good player. I think he's got a lot of talent. I think he's going to be a lottery pick. He was horrendous in this game, and he had most of his points from free throws.
And his I think he has a lot of talent. I don't think he has been able to contain that talent yet, I guess. I think he's too athletic for his own good sometimes. Yep. But like you said, he went to the free throw line 15 times because every time he would go to the hoop and fall down, they'd call foul. Indiana game last night, they weren't doing that.
Yeah,
so
I think a lot of fouls. I think there was some fouls that Illinois committed on Ivy, But
Yeah.
the one that stands out is the DeMonte one, which is the worst call I've ever seen.
Yes.
I mean, that wasn't even close to a foul.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was absurd. And it's Borowski. What do you expect? It's a rupture with that idiot every time. He's the worst ref in college basketball at this point, I think.
Yep.
Big Ten refs continue to be terrible. Apparently, you can pretty much shoot a free throw from the restricted arc, and it counts. So whatever. It's terrible. But like I said, Ivy, he can be a game changer. Now, I think he's kind of being I'm not going to say overrated, but people look at him a lot and be like, nobody else can do what he does, which in the Big Ten, probably not. I mean, Johnny Davis, maybe, but
Johnny Davis isn't as athletic as he is.
No, he's not.
But Johnny Davis is a better shooter, I think.
Yeah, which is weird. I would think that Ivy would be a much better shooter than he's been, at least in Big Ten play. I think early in the season he was much better, but in Big Ten play he struggled to shoot the ball. But if I was going to pick a team of Big Ten talent team, Ivy would be one of my first picks. So which doesn't matter in a game like this. And that shot that he took was at the end of the first overtime. Yeah, terrible. I mean,
the fact that Painter went, I mean, his first to go into overtime, I believe they tried to get Stefanovic open, which I understand.
Which they had a lot more time left in one of those. I don't remember which one they had, like 8 seconds. Was the Ivy one?
Yeah, I think so. And then Ivy just pulled up from 25 feet and said, I'm going to try to win the game.
Let's look at last night against Indiana. Ivy, the first attempt was horrendous, the layup or whatever, where he just threw it over the hoop. That was terrible.
Yep.
And then the three almost went in. But
I mean, it wasn't a pretty shot, but it almost went in. So.
Yeah, that's just a case of Indiana. Indiana has a much better home court advantage in those games than Illinois does, which is unfortunate, but it's true. Yeah. And I think it helps that their arena is smaller. Mm-hmm. And Indiana, I hate Indiana, so I'm not trying to compliment them too much, but they actually defend. So there you go.
Yeah. Yep. On to some more guys. Grandison, he started off pretty good. Made a nice jumper when Illinois couldn't find a way to score. Ended up 2 of 5 from the 3 of 10 from the field. So not so great after that. 3 rebounds, 8 points. Plummer seemed to get his shot back, I would say. I mean, I'll take 6 of 12 from Plummer from 3 any day. 4 rebounds, 24 points. So, I mean, Plummer's still that guy that can score, big numbers. But I said in our podcast before this game that Illinois needed to shoot around 50% from 3. Plummer did, but as a team, 12 for 33 for 36%. So you can take 33 threes. It's not a terrible number, but if it's 40%, they win probably. So,
well, do you think a guy like Grandison speeds himself up too much in early in games, tries to do too much, or is playing too fast for what he should be or what his style is?
Yeah, he doesn't let the game kind of come to him as he probably should.
Well, he was, and this year is different than last year. He's a bigger part of this year's team than last year. Even though he was starting last year, he still had less of a bearing on the game because you look at the lineup from last year, obviously Ayo, and I think Grandison was probably the 5th option in the lineup from last year because it would probably go Ayo to Kofi and then Frazier and Adam Miller, and then Grandison was like the 5th guy last year to score out of the lineup. So this year's a bigger part, and sometimes he just tried to do too much. I don't know.
Right.
It's the damnedest thing because Plummer has not been that way for the most part. He hasn't tried to do too much. Really, the only concern that you have with Plummer is defense and how he got absolutely smoked twice.
Yeah,
late in the game.
Yeah, backdoor cuts. Those were bad, and they hurt. And I saw Joey Wagner, I think, posted at halftime. Since the COVID break, Plummer was only 5 of 24 from 3.
He's bound to have that at some point.
So he got it back this game, I think. DeMonte, played good defense against Ivy. Offensively, made a 3, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 blocks, a steal, 3 points. Kind of seems to be his MO these days, right? Makes a 3 and then nothing else. Trent, 48 minutes of a 50-minute game. He was 7 of 16 from the field, 2 of 9 from 3, so not great. 5 rebounds, 6 assists. Like I said, he still had the point position most of the game. He had 1 turnover and 16 points for him. So he made some big shots, but I really think him playing 48 minutes killed them in that second overtime because Stefanovic was getting open at will, it seemed like. This Stefanovic 3 that he got fouled on, I thought was BS. But it is what it is. And then as far as the bench, you got Hawkins, like I said, played 4 minutes. Goody played 6 minutes. He did hit a nice 3. Then he kind of took one off balance, but he didn't play bad. And then Omar Payne, I mean, I guess that's the last guy to talk about. 7 minutes, 1 rebound, 1 assist, 3 fouls all in one play, I would say. So Illinois was up 6, I think, right?
Was it 24-20?
5 or 6, something like that. And then there's 7 minutes left, and Omar Payne. And I mean, Stefanovic is that guy, right? He's gonna do what he can to try to get calls. But Stefanovic kind of got. I don't even know how to explain it. It looked like he just tried to run in it, like get in his way while he was running. And Omar Payne did what Omar Payne does and elbowed him in the face. I mean, it was blatant. There's no denying that he meant to do it. And then Illinois ends up going 0 for 9 during the last 7 minutes. The only points they scored were Kofi's 2 free throws. And so Purdue closes on a 17-2 run. If that doesn't happen, if Illinois makes a couple buckets, they win this game. You can't go 0 for 9 and let a team go on a 17-0 run when you're at home against the number 4 team in the nation. The fact that they even got this into overtime was pretty good. So
Illinois likes to bully Stefanovic. Alan Griffin.
Yeah,
done it before. We've been there, done that.
Yeah, but
it's unfortunate for Stefanovic because he's going to be bald in about a year. So it's unfortunate for him.
I mean, you watch the Indy. If you watched the Indiana game last night, Stefanovic was kind of doing some, Stefanovic stuff.
He's like Mulcahy, but he actually has some skill. I think.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. And I think he's the reason why Illinois ended up losing anyways, because he was unreal from 3 in overtime. He ended up 5 of 8 from 3. So free throws, Purdue shot 32, Illinois shot 15. A lot of that had to do with, didn't have it in the lane, couldn't get fouled. So
they shot like 8 to 10 of those with like the whole automatic fouling thing at the end.
Right.
Fouling Ivy a bunch of times and
yeah. So, it's a loss. You chalk it up, you move on. Underwood was asked how it felt to have the whole team back, basically, besides Hutcherson. And he said, quote, "I'm really excited because I know how good this group can be." So Illinois moves forward. We're going to talk about some other stuff, and then we'll talk about the Maryland game tonight.
Well, now we talk about somebody who's been quite the topic on the internet in 2 different ways. One of which is how great he's been with the Bulls, and the other one is one person questioning the whole jersey retirement thing. Now, here's the thing. I don't want to talk too much about this because I don't really care, to be honest, about he won 1 tournament game and then got his jersey retired, which it's fair to say that in one aspect, but in the other aspect is like they lost an entire tournament when they should have had a tournament the year before. So he should have had 2 chances. And I think you can't really say what would have happened in 2020, but you get the sense that Illinois might have made a bigger run because they were going to be more of an underdog type. They were playing really well going into that. And I don't know. What do you think about the whole thing?
I mean, the thing is that Illinois has a criteria to how you get your number hung in the rafters. They don't retire it. It goes up there. You have to be an All-American. And I think there's like 7 requirements, but so I get it that maybe you say it's too soon or whatever, but I don't think that the way Illinois does it, your NBA career doesn't matter at all. It's how you played when you were at Illinois, and the honors that you got while you were at Illinois. And I think people want to question them doing it this soon. I think it was the perfect time to do it because Brad Underwood's still trying to build Illinois. And to show that you got a guy playing the NBA, he brings DeMar DeRozan with him to, the State Farm Center. Yeah, I think it was the best time to do it. And I think Ayo deserves it. So I don't think you wait 10 years and you do this, especially since Illinois' criteria is how you performed at the U of I. It's not, you were on the all-star team in the NBA for 10 years. Like that doesn't matter to Illinois. So
what if Michael Jordan wasn't that good in college and he played at Illinois and then he was what he was?
He would have been on the all-century team or whatever. I mean, that's why Deion Thomas's jersey's hanging in the rafters. That's why there's a lot of guys that didn't actually get those honors in the rafters. So, which the all-century team's never going to happen again. So, people are calling to get Trent Frazier's hung, and I just don't know how they do it. I mean, you can't make an exception.
No,
so, I love Trent Frazier, but you can't make an exception for that. So.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why the argument is being compared to other schools. It's like Michigan State and Michigan have had a lot more success, so who cares? I mean, it has nothing to do with Illinois. Illinois, like you said, they were completely in the dumps before he got here.
Mm-hmm.
Underwood's still trying to build it up, and this helps. And I don't see why not. Just capitalize on it because you're gonna hang it up there anyway because he was an All-American and yeah, I mean, Trey Burke did all this. Who cares? I mean, nobody cares. Obviously, Trey Burke was a better college player than Ayo. Nobody's denying that.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's just stupid to compare it to other schools.
I agree.
Just to act like, Illinois is poverty then. If poverty Big Ten school, now that they did this, who cares? I mean, out of all the things to waste your own time about on Twitter, I can't believe people do this.
Right.
And I like Ant. I like him. We follow each other on Twitter. I think he's a good guy. I think he does good content, whether it's Michigan or not Michigan. I think it's good stuff. But Illini fans too, a lot of wasted time on that app over stupid stuff like this. Like you can argue about maybe current stuff and like the teams that are playing and how they are right now rather than the merits of putting DeSumo in the rafters. It's stupid.
Right.
It makes no sense. But anyway, in the NBA, he's proven why he shouldn't have fallen in the second round. And it's just more proof that the way that the NBA executives draft is stupid. They don't really even draft. Once you get out of like the top 20 of the NBA draft, I don't even think they're really trying. Like you're drafting somebody that you're not expecting to play for you anyway. So it's just, I hate the way that they draft. But
sure. Yeah.
What pick was Ayo? 36?
38.
38? Okay, that sounds right.
Last three games for the Bulls, 23 of 30 from the field, 77%, 7 for 10 from 3, 54 points, 16 rebounds, 24 assists, 6 steals, 2 blocks. That is via Nico Hayflinger. What a name.
I saw that he is currently in the top 5 in all-time three-point shooting percentage because he's at like 44% right now. But
Boom.
And that was the big question mark, right? Like, could Ayo shoot?
I mean, the team that they have there, they can space the floor a lot more if he's on the floor with like DeRozan and if Levine's healthy.
Yeah. Ball just my son's home, so the dogs need to freak out. But Ball just went on the injury list, right? So he's going to get more time now too, right?
That sounds right. I don't know. I think Levine's hurt right now. I know that.
I thought Levine got cleared.
Maybe he's back, but he was hurt. I don't know. I'm a Suns fan. I don't pay attention to the Bulls. And if Ayo was on the Suns, he'd fit in perfectly because the Suns, by the way, number 1 team in the NBA, not a big deal. He would be a perfect bench piece for the Suns. But whatever, it's fine. The Suns didn't want to do it. They drafted pretty much nobody before him, so whatever. But defense has been the big thing for Ayo. He has been a really good defender this season. And you look at some of the stars in the league, some of these numbers, like, okay, John Morant went 2 for 5. That's really not that bad. But whatever. The big one though, you look
only
at
5 shots though, right? I mean, that's
and Luka Doncic 1 for 3. Once again, really not that bad. Jason Tatum went 3 for 12 with 3 turnovers against Ayo. Bradley Beal went 2 for 8 over a 2-game span, and Trae Young went 2 for 10 over a 2-game span. And how much of that is actual defense? How much of it is not? I'm sure it's a little bit of both. But if you watch, good defender, great defender.
Yeah. And speaking of Twitter, Ayo decided to go on Twitter the other day, on the 18th, and said he had 2 college takes. Hashtag JetLife4Life. First one was, honestly, not being biased, Illinois is a legit Final Four national championship contender.
I mean, that's definitely not biased, right?
And then the second one was Kofi Coburn is the National Player of the Year. So
that's wrong,
he also said that he likes Purdue, Auburn, Kentucky, and Gonzaga. So, but those are
Auburn and Kentucky tomorrow.
Ayo's takes. So, just so you guys know.
And then some idiot said Michigan State can beat all those teams. Yeah, okay.
Sure.
Wisconsin is low-key in it, says somebody. Shut up. Kentucky looking dangerous. I mean, come on. Kentucky's good, but come on.
Yeah, Kentucky's weird. Weird pick there, but, if they get it all together, I
think that they'll beat Auburn tomorrow just because Auburn's due for a loss, don't you think? I mean, they won like $1 billion in a row.
It's like I think Wisconsin's due for a loss tonight, but we'll see.
What can you do?
Dane Danger, the Danger Zone. We announced, I don't know, what was it? 3 months ago that he was coming to Illinois. He's a transfer from Baylor. I think he played 3 games with Baylor this year, scored like 7 points. But he is officially with the team, working out with Fletch, doing individual workouts, stuff like that. Underwood said about it that in a perfect world, he would always like to have a scholarship available for a transfer like this. So we'll see if that sticks. He was asked also about having Danger sit out a year, and he said, quote, "Love it. They're my favorite type of transfers, guys that have to sit out and work and learn." So he also said that he is so skilled and talented. We loved him in high school. I believe Illinois was going after him in high school too. So he's officially on the bench. You apparently didn't see him during the Purdue game, but
I mean, what kind of an impact is he going to make when he gets here eventually next year? That's a good look.
God, I thought we were the beanie team.
All right, that works. I mean, mine's like really old and messed up, but whatever.
All right, on to other stuff. Class of 22.
I got to mention this BS first. Illinois Fighting Illini Nation Facebook. You can get one post from every episode. We'll talk about how stupid it is. This is from Ron Rideau, who is a Cub fan, unfortunately for him. He said, and all he does is talk shit about Kofi every time he posts.
Sure.
Did Coburn suffer a concussion in practice? ? This is all caps, by the way, probably because this guy's like 927 years old. I don't know why he's yelling. I didn't see where there was any type of collision during the game, period. If you had Twitter, you would have seen something. I didn't know frustration and being outplayed caused concussions. Which, did he go too far with that comment? I think might be the question. Frustration and being outplayed leads to concussions. He said he didn't know that.
Yeah, I think your boy Aunt Wright asked if Kofi was ducking tonight.
So. Well, that was a joke because everyone said that Dickinson was ducking
right.
Kofi last
I know. Yeah, I like. Apparently, you didn't see Kofi get elbowed in the face. But they did say it was part of the game and then part of practice too. So
yeah, I mean that didn't seem like that was.
They're just elbowing him in the face so he can get used to it.
That play, the Edey elbow though, didn't really seem like that would have caused a concussion.
I don't know. Somebody had a slow motion replay of it, and it looked like it pushed him back a bit. So.
But I thought concussions were like up in here more so than the face. I mean, I'm not an expert, but what's up with Illinois having concussions this season? I didn't know they were playing football. I mean, two concussions. Unbelievable.
Isn't that crazy?
It makes no sense. But what can you do? Yeah. I don't know. I mean, we'll see how long Kofi's out. I would assume
I don't know how long I guess it depends on how you react. If he reacts like Curbelo did, he's going to be out for 2 months. There's protocol, right, that you have to do.
I think we'll see him next Saturday against Northwestern.
So not against Michigan State. That's
probably not. Well, what can you do? Probably going to lose that game anyway.
Yeah. Well.
Actually, with COVID, they'll probably win, but whatever. Maybe they'll win. I don't know. Maybe they'll do the thing where they aren't expected to win, but then they win.
It's a home game, right?
Yeah, but people are still going to be like, oh, Michigan State. Oh, my God. Wow, so good. Is that
True.
a home game? I don't even know.
I think so.
Yeah, it's a home game.
Because they don't play away until February now.
Well, they got Northwestern's a road game. 29th.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then they have Indiana and Purdue on the road back-to-back early February.
Yeah. Illinois has got a tough
well,
road to hoe.
It's good they won their first six Big Ten games. That's a good start. 247 rankings for the class 2022. Go.
Yeah, Jaden Epps has moved up 11 spots to number 48. Ty Rogers up 1 spot to number 61. Sincere Harris, he's been playing well. He has stayed the same. He's at 98. However, Rivals
I don't know when this was updated, but it seems like it had to be updated within the last 6 months. I would think.
Mm-hmm.
Had to be. But it's weird.
So Rivals has Epps at 105, which is really shocking. Epps has been playing out of his mind. Just following him on Twitter and stuff. Rogers is at 66, so that's pretty close. And then Sincere Harris is at 62, so he's a little bit higher there. Hi, Devin. Thanks for stopping by.
Absolutely, yes. Thank you. In the YouTube comments section. It's weird. Reverse order for 247.
I don't know. It doesn't matter. I think Chester Frazier posted something that rankings don't matter. Come to college, play your butt off. Things will happen. So, and then in other class of 22 news, big preferred walk-on Paxton Warden of Glenn Bard, who plays with Braden Huff, who I believe is number 2 player in Illinois right now. Braden Huff is going to Gonzaga, but Paxton has committed to Illinois. Like I said, he will be a walk-on, so he won't take up a scholarship. The dude's ripped. I mean, he is built. 6'4", 180 pounds, plays point guard and shooting guard. I think he's averaging 12 points a game right now. Glenn Bard is currently number 1 in the state in whatever, I don't even know what class they're in, but they're number 1. I assume they're 4A. But.
So Huff is number 5 on 247 in the state of Illinois right now.
Okay.
Number 3 if you don't do the composite. So
I know he's up there.
We won't do the composite, but Ty
he's like
Rogers
a
is
6'9" forward going to Gonzaga. You know how Gonzaga likes their players. So
yes. Ty Rogers is number 1, and
that's right.
AJ Casey number 4.
Who's that?
LOL. Imagine falling that far.
All right, on to the game tonight.
Maryland road game. Last time they played here, I believe was the choke.
The turnover choke, right? Ayo turned the ball over, right?
Yeah, that was a bad one. But it's a different ball game now. Illinois is a much better team than Maryland. Look at their Big Ten records. That's really all you need to know. But the line has moved. But before I get to that, I forgot I haven't even mentioned game 6 o'clock tonight, which is about 2.5 hours from when we're recording this right now. Fox Sports 1, big time. I'll mention the announcers later to take another shot at a different announcer. The line was -7.5, and Kofi being out now down to 4.5. So 3 points.
Yeah, Kofi's worth 3 points, I guess.
I mean, that's not surprising. I think we're likely to see a Frazier, DeMonte, Plummer, Grandison, Payne lineup. They have 0 games at full strength in the Big Ten. They were 6-0 when Curbelo was out, 0-1 with him, which is not his fault, but that is the stat. And I mean, what can you do? They just got to keep playing without their best players, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, Maryland's always scary at Maryland. I know they're 1-6. Maryland's a team that you thought would be a lot better this year.
Well,
You got to go in. You got to win this game because it doesn't get any easier after this. So you got to go beat a 9-9, 1-6 Maryland.
you don't have to beat them, but it would be.
You have to.
Yeah. I mean, Northwestern's an automatic dub next week.
Oh boy,
It is. I mean, come on, they're never losing to Northwestern ever again.
Yeah.
But Maryland 1-6 in the Big Ten. So their 1-1 was Northwestern. In double overtime, they lost to Iowa. Illinois beat them earlier in the season at home. Wisconsin, Rutgers, Michigan were their losses in the Big Ten. Rutgers, they had a lead for a lot of that game in the first half, and then
Rutgers
fell apart.
Kind of got away with that one, didn't they? Or Wisconsin got away. What? Wait. Never mind. I was thinking of the Wisconsin game that Wisconsin only won by 1.
Yeah.
And then Michigan just beat the tar out of them the last game. So
Put it this way, Maryland had 21 points in the second half against Rutgers.
Yeah.
7 points in the first 10 minutes of the half.
It's not good.
So, there you go. And yeah, Michigan killed them. Iowa beat them by 5. Illinois obviously beat them by 12, but that game was a little bit different than the score. But you look at their numbers, they are 97th in adjusted offensive efficiency, 85th in defensive efficiency, 205th in tempo. Illinois comparatively 11th in offense, 20th defense, and 189th tempo. So Maryland's not a team that's going to they're not going to force a lot of turnovers, but they're also not going to turn it over that much. I mean, their turnover numbers are okay compared to, I mean, Illinois are worse, but
I mean, they have great guard. I mean, Ayala and Fats Russell. I think that Fats Russell Plummer matchup that we saw earlier in the year is going to be a big part. Fats was getting to the rim anytime he wanted. He just couldn't make anything. So, they're going to have to lock him up. And then I think that DeMonte guarded Scott, if I remember that. So he's going to have a good game defensively against Scott. And then you just got to hope Payne and BBV can, contain the bigs because.
Yep. I mean, I like Payne's defense over Kofi's
I do too.
and BBV's defense, but
I do too. It's just that he's averaging like a foul every 12 seconds.
Yeah, so. Probably Lieb's defense too. You think we see Lieb tonight?
I think it's a possibility, honestly.
I think it's a very real chance. I think he might get folded in half tonight. It could be the night where it happens. But Maryland's a very inefficient team. Like they're 269th in 3-point percentage and 207th in 2-point percentage. So, and that's like Illinois 21st 3 points and 75th 2-point percentage. But Maryland's not a good basketball team. I mean, it's simple. Just win the game. Just go in there and win and exercise some of those demons because, that game that they lost to them was a brutal one. And I know that Anthony Cowan was there and Jalen Smith was there, so it was a much better Maryland team. But that was a tough one to lose. And the score to that game was 59-58. It was December 7th, 2019, I believe. So it was the year the tournament got shut down. Mm-hmm. And Illinois had that game, man. They were up. Illinois was up 39-25 at the half and scored 19 points in the second half. So really shows you where they were. And hey, Frazier was on that team. DeMonte was on that team. Kofi was on that team. Bosman's Verdonk played 2 minutes in that game. So that they got to think about that. I know Kofi's not playing tonight, but Trent and DeMonte got to think about that because this is another situation where they haven't won at Maryland with Trent and DeMonte, right? There's no way.
Yeah,
so
sounds.
Ayala was on that team for Maryland. Accurate. I mean, this is a game you got to win. And you look at the numbers from that game, Illinois shot 21% from 3. And, you had Trent was 2 for 6. Ayo was 1 for 3. They made 3 threes. And that was a game where you had 2 players on the team in double figures, 13 from Frazier and 11 from Feliz. Kofi only had 9 points.
You got to think that
So,
Maryland is going to guard the 3-point line hard this game too, because I mean, unless Payne just became an offensive force that we don't know about, Illinois isn't going to have much else.
But the thing is, almost every guard on this team can go in and score.
Yeah, true.
The problem is you're not going to have as much space cleared with Payne as you would with Kofi to get there.
Yeah.
So that could be a problem that you look at. But I've seen no issues with Plummer's ability to get to the rim is good. Curbelo, we know, can do it. Curbelo danced around Edey on one of those layups that he made.
Yeah.
And Curbelo's like only way that he can shoot the ball well is that like 7-footer and in, 7 and in.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, it's disastrous.
Yep.
So he still can't shoot the 3, which is just so ridiculous to me, but whatever.
It's bad.
You got Brandon Godden and Lynn Elmore on the call tonight, which should be a great change of pace from Bardo being the total clown show that he is, which I think this Purdue game was the worst game he's ever called.
I mean,
it was horrendous.
He tries so hard to be not an Illinois homer that it's like he's rooting for the other team.
It's unbelievably annoying to listen to, dude. It's so bad. I mean, why were people bitching about the Michigan game announcers? Like, I didn't have a problem with those. I don't understand why people were bitching about that. I feel like a lot of times Illinois fans or really Big Ten basketball fans or basketball fans in general go out of the way to bitch about the announcers. There's not very many cases where it's that big of an issue.
Yeah.
And Bardo is a case where it is a big issue.
True.
It's terrible to listen to. It's horrendous. I don't care what he knows about the sport. He sucks at this job. And I hate to say it. You know, he played here. Seems like a good guy. He sucks at this job. I'm sorry. And if that's going to prevent him from ever being on here, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, I'm sure somebody will send him that clip.
I hope they do, and I hope he knows. But they will go to Hawkins in the middle. Might be coming out. Yeah, no. I mean, I don't see it. This isn't Arkansas State, you know. They have some actual bigs. Qudus Wahab was pretty good at Georgetown last year.
Yeah.
And, Hawkins – I mean, the one thing Hawkins should do is not touch the ball when he's on the floor. I think he'd be very effective if he did that.
All right.
Very effective.
Predictions. Let's roll them out. I think it's going to be a close one. Without Kofi, I think Maryland's going to be able to do some things, and Illinois is going to struggle a little bit. I got Illinois winning by 3, 72-69.
Yeah, I'm going 78-68 Illinois. I really wanted to have Illinois win by like 20, but I can't really justify that. They're not losing tonight. I can just confirm that for everybody. Now, you don't have to watch the game. They're not losing. And that's a guarantee. Now, would I sacrifice a loss here for the Packers to win tomorrow? Yes, I would do that. But I don't think most people that listen to this podcast would do
You're
that.
not a real
but
fan. Get out
I
of
would
here.
100% do that. I would sacrifice.
Get out of here.
Illinois could lose every game the rest of the year if the Packers win the
The
Super Bowl.
Packers
But
lose
anyway.
by 40.
Well, they're not going to lose by 40, maybe 20, but not 40. What does this mean? Share the rock.
I don't know.
That's 100% fact though. We will go ahead and go with that. Around the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Indiana last night.
Indiana knocks off Purdue. Wisconsin continues to win.
So they're now tied with Illinois 6-1.
Yep. They do play Michigan State tonight, though, after the Illinois game. So that should be a good one. Who would you rather win that game?
Michigan State.
Yeah, I agree. So I was telling I got a buddy that plays pool in our pool league, and he's a Michigan State fan. I said, I hope that Michigan State wins and then Illinois wins. So
that would be a quality.
Because Wisconsin after Michigan State, Illinois. Let's see. They have Nebraska in there. They have Minnesota. They have Penn State. They do have to play Michigan State again. Rutgers and Indiana. Michigan might get better, so they got a few tough games. But they played Nebraska and Minnesota twice down the stretch. So they have some. I'd say they have the easiest road, but of course they've played, the tough games already, so you can't really say much about it. So,
yep,
it'll be interesting. Anybody can win any given night in the Big Ten, it seems, except for Nebraska.
Nebraska 0-8 in the conference now. Wisconsin, Rutgers, Michigan, Northwestern. Their next 4 might be 0-12. They stink, and it's good that Illinois didn't let them win.
Yeah, Rutgers is getting hot. They're winning some games. So as of right now, like you said, Wisconsin, Illinois tied. Michigan State's 5-1. You have Ohio State and Rutgers both at 5-2. Indiana at 5-3. Surprisingly, Purdue at 4-3, sitting in 7th place right now. And then you have the teams below 500 in Iowa, Penn State, Michigan, Northwestern, Minnesota, Maryland, Nebraska is how it all shakes down.
I thought Keegan Murray was supposed to be like the next Dr. J or something.
he's after his brother, took off.
Well, for Rutgers, we're a long way from them giving up 85 points to UMass and losing. So they are back defensively. And they also lost to Lafayette, which is just –
that Rutgers Iowa game was brutal to watch.
It's helping Rutgers in the metrics. They're
48-46, and the game ends on a terrible, terrible, terrible ref show call. So,
I mean, that's what Iowa gets for scoring, 8 points in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, I would understand if Ron Harper Jr. was going to the hoop or something like that, but Ron Harper Jr. was going to take a fadeaway 3 with the game tied and got bailed out. So.
Well, Keegan Murray 5 for 14. I don't think the next Michael Jordan would shoot 5 for 14 against Rutgers in a game, but what can you do? I mean, Iowa, they're never going to score under 50 points again. I mean,
yeah,
Iowa only have 46 points is unbelievable.
It's insane. It really is. So
because that is an Iowa team that is 6th in the country in offensive efficiency.
Yeah, and like Bohannon airballed like three threes or something like that.
Maybe they were rattled by the environment.
Bohannon was 2 of 10 from 3. Why is he shooting that much?
The team 6 of 27 from 3.
Not going to win many games doing that.
Bohannon is a good player, but he's no-showed in a lot of games.
Yeah.
And, has he been overshadowed by guys like Wieskamp and Garza last year? I mean, he could be what Frazier is for Illinois, but he's not.
Yeah, true.
So, suck on that, Iowa. Losers.
Yeah. Losers.
You ever going to beat Illinois again? You guys going to ever do that again? Probably not. Jesus. Had the refs on your side in the first game and couldn't even beat them.
Mm-hmm.
Big Ten tournament. Oh, Iowa's so good. No, they're not. They stink. Got absolutely, and I know Illinois got killed in the second round last year, got absolutely worked by Oregon, Iowa did last year. And that's what you get for playing no defense. And that was an Oregon team that got advanced automatically because of VCU's COVID issues last year. So Oregon didn't even play a first-round game. Still beat the brakes off of Iowa. So suck on that. And I didn't compare Trent to Bohannon. Jesus Christ. All I said was he could be. What I meant by that was
he's not even close.
Shows up every game.
Yeah, he's not even close.
A good defender, which he's not, and a guy that's been there for a billion years. Pretty much only those 3 things that I was saying.
Yeah.
And I love how every time you mention 2 players in the same name, it's automatically comparison, which is not. But, I wish Bohannon was better because you're an idiot for that comment. So there you go, Marshall.
I think you're an idiot for comparing them. So.
Well, I didn't compare him, but whatever. You want to use the word comparison, and you know what? I'll say it right now. Fran McCaffrey's better than Brett Underwood.
Whoa.
You want me to go there? I'll become an Iowa fan right here, right now because of how
we
stupid
better end
that
this.
comment was.
It's going off
Ridiculous.
the rails.
Brett Underwood's way better.
Praising Fran right now.
McCaffrey's an absolute
Oh my goodness!
idiot.
What are we doing?
Fran is an idiot.
What are we doing?
Fran's an idiot. Had to get that in there, but as I said, oof, says Marshall. Yeah, shut up, idiot.
That's how we get 1-star rankings. Great. Marshall, go give us a 1-star ranking.
We do want that. If you would give us a 1-star rating, that would be great. But let's just think about this. I was trashing the Iowa program, saying, "Are you ever going to beat Illinois again?" But then I said Bohannon could be to Iowa what Frazier is to Illinois, which is being there for a billion years and showing up every game, which he does not do either of those things. So he's not. So when does the word "could be" turn into a comparison? What are we doing here?
I don't know.
Come on, Marshall. Use the ears, man.
He's
Oh,
done.
viewers,
See?
I don't give a
See?
shit. I've never seen this guy ever in our
Bye,
stuff.
Marshall.
Hey, have a
Good
good day,
knowing
Marshall. Have a good one, man. All right. Brandon's never been able to coach defense ever. Yeah, because he never has like any athletes. You know? They don't belong in the same sentence. I mean, yeah, okay, but
I agree, Marshall. All right, that's gonna be the show.
it's just
Jeez,
stupid.
calm down.
This guy's an idiot.
Oh my gosh.
Well, let's think about this. Okay, you want to go there? Don't make me do this, but I could if I wanted to. I'm not going to do it. I won't do it. Let's just put it this way. Could be and is or has been are not the same thing. Could be is not a comparison. So maybe you should stop throwing the word comparison in the sentence as something that I said, because I didn't say it, but whatever. All right. That'll do it. I don't know what he means by do it. Oh, yeah, I'm not going to do it. I was going to kind of go over their offensive history, which, it's not really either player's fault. They've been overshadowed by better players around them. But
we don't have time for that. I got to go to work.
I would like to confirm that Trent Frazier is better than Jordan Bohannon for all the people out there. And I don't know how I could be Bardo. I mean, I never played at a big school, and we don't look the same, I don't think. So
you both have long flowing hair.
I'm probably a better shooter than him, I would say.
That's true.
No doubt.
When's the next watch party?
That's a good question. We both put it up there at the same time.
Tuesday, maybe. Michigan State game?
Tuesday. Yeah, that could be something that happens.
Terrible at his job. This isn't his job, but we're just fans having fun. Anyways.
I am terrible at this. I agree. All right. We'll be back, episode 93.
Maybe watch party Tuesday.
Probably do the episode Sunday or Monday. I don't know. We don't know. Nobody knows. Nobody
maybe
ever
Sunday
knows
night or Monday night. We'll see.
So, yeah, Illinois is going to win tonight, no doubt about it. And Trent Frazier is better